This is Matthias with the TalTechTales.com blog. Today I want to take a moment and walk you through my latest project, the Online Writing Log. It's a tool I've created for writers to be able to set monthly goals and then track their progress towards those goals. Kind of a way to keep yourself accountable and also kind of see how you're doing every day. So let me go ahead and log in here and show you around. First of all, if you want to check it out yourself, you can go to the onlinewritinglog.com, click join today, and then enter your email address and password, and that will take you through the process of signing up. All right, so I'm going to log in and show you around. The first thing you will see when you log in is the news and updates. And during the beta version of the app, which is kind of what it is right now, this is where I will be posting news, updates, bug fixes, and so on. So it's a pretty important page to see first thing. Later on, that will probably look a little different, but for right now, that's the way it looks. On the left-hand side, you have links to various sections of the app. You up here in the right-hand corner, you can go to your profile. And on the top left, you can also open up the same menu floating on top of things. And that's kind of, if you have a screen that's smaller, you can hide the menu on the left. Or if you want to share the space of the app with something else, like you want to write at the same time, you'll still be able to get to the menu. So let's start out with the projects. And the projects is kind of where you would define what you're working on right now. Everyone's working on something at the moment, right? You're working on a novel, flash fiction, an article, blog posts. This is where you can define that. And for the purposes of the online writing log, this is one of the things that you really need to do. The writing has to be assigned to something, and the project is that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and create a dummy project here. Space Adventure is what we'll call this project, and it's going to be a full novel, science fiction, and we'll select novel. Project stage is kind of more of for your benefit to see, so you can see kind of where you're at. Completed is a flag that you can set once you're done with the project, with the writing, and it's all done. It'll help out with filtering, among other things. Same with the published, it's more of a way to filter things out. Private is a flag you can set if you want to keep the details of your project private, so you don't want people to see the name, the cover image that you can upload, or the summary. You don't want that information public. You can click on that, and that will keep the project out of visibility for others. The statistics for the project will still be included in project totals or things like that, or like on a day-to-day basis. So if you're part of trying to see how much you're doing every day, you'll still be able to see that, and that still might be visible to others as well, but the details themselves would not. So the Space Adventure is an adventure through space and time. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so here now you see it's part of your list of projects, and you can easily expand it here. Just quickly to see the get a quick overview of the project. In the future, you will be able to go to a dedicated page for each project that contains the statistics of how much you've been writing, when you've been writing, and so on. So, and that's not quite ready at this point. The next thing you want to look at are the goals. And you don't have to have a goal to use the online writing log. It's not required, but I highly recommend it. I've been participating in the monthly writing challenge on Twitter for the last 2 years, and it's really changed the way I write. It's helped me to write a little bit every day, even if it's just 200, 500 words. At least you're making some progress every day instead of waiting for that right moment when you can write your whole novel and spend hours at a time. So I highly recommend it. And I'm going to do here is what you can do currently in the online writing log. You can add a goal for writing and editing. And writing is measured in words, so 15,000 words for a month. And now you can see here we have 15,000 words. Here's the progress and the type of the goal. And then you can also add an editing goal as well. We'll say an hour a day, because this is about 500 words a day and about an hour of editing. And you can add multiple goals per month, but they're all going to collapse into one. So I would recommend sticking with the one goal per category per month. All right, so let's hop over to the activity log. This is where all the action happens. And as you can see right now, there's nothing here except the statistics here. You have monthly goal, 15,000. Today's goal is what you need to write today to be able, and every other day of this month to be able to get to this goal of 15,000 words today, how much you've written today, how many minutes you spent writing, and then this is kind of your speed. How quickly are you writing? So, and that kind of gives you an idea of if you need to plan on, how much can you get done in an hour. There's different pages for the different goals. Editing, brainstorming and plotting, and they don't have goals at the moment. They will in the future, I think, but for right now they don't. So let's go ahead and add an entry here. What we'll do is select our space adventure, and we've been writing something since, let's say, we did some writing today from 5 a.m. to I'm just gonna go into the future a little bit here. And we did 632 words. And the note is kind of just a reminder to yourself of what this session was for. You can always view it later, and when you look at the project page I was mentioning earlier, you'll be able to see this information as well. The first chapter. We'll save that. And as you can see now, we're populating words today. We're populating duration and speed. And as you can see, I'm almost to my goal here of writing today. So that's great. The more the better, of course. For sake of demonstration, let's add an editing goal too. And I'm going to leave this, I want to change this to, let's change this to, did an hour of editing before we started writing. Although technically the chapter didn't exist, but for demonstration purposes. So that's not in writing, right? So we have to go to editing, and here's that entry. And as you can see here, you have the percentage of your goal that's completed and the total words this month right here. If you want to see all the entries, you can click this button, little toggle here, and you'll see everything at once. And then all this information in the blue boxes is just a summary of everything, all the time today, all the words today, all the editing today. So just a combined of everything. Each entry you can delete, you can edit. You can also share it on social media, and it'll pop up like this. This still needs to be tweaked a little bit, and currently Twitter is the only social network that will actually, this will pre-fill to, so you can modify this message, you can hit Twitter and it will open up another window and populate it. Google Plus and Facebook, you still need to copy and paste this message, but this is kind of a message that's created based on the data of your entry. So it kind of fun little way to share what you're doing. All right, so now that you've been writing, how does that affect everything else? It obviously goes towards your goal and towards your project. So if you go back to our goals here, you'll be able to see that our writing goal has 632 words towards it. Our editing goal has an hour towards it. So you'll see that here. In a not too distant future, there will be just like with the projects page, there'll be a dedicated page or pop-up for the goals where you can see more statistics about it. How you're doing towards that goal. That's just not ready yet. And then if you go look at our project and we expand it, we can see here as well, 632 out of 50,000 words. We have 2 sessions, one writing, one editing, and we have spent a total of 1.6 hours on it. So this is not editing time, this is total time spent on that project. So that's kind of in a nutshell what project can do. The dashboard is where you will kind of be able to take a closer look at how you're doing with your writing. So this gives you an idea of on a day-by-day basis, month by month, and by project, how you're doing. And what I'm going to do is take you over to my profile and show you real quick what it looks like when you have more data available. It'll be a better view of how it looks long term. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is the dashboard and what it kind of looks like when you have more data available. So currently the dashboard is still kind of being built. What you're seeing here is just kind of, okay, what kind of charts can we actually make with the data that's available? So these are not final by far. Performance by date. This gives you an idea here. You have by day, you have word count, and you have duration. How much time have you spent on these activities by day, right? So on like yesterday, 884 words, and I spent about an hour, or actually about an hour and a half, about 50 minutes to get there. So you can kind of see the progression here of, when I look at myself and my own writing, I'm pretty consistent in how much I get written for the period of an hour. And then we have by month, 12,000 words in October, 12,000, almost 13 in September, and not so much this month yet. And then the various projects that I've been working on and how it's split between editing and writing. So, and then of course what we have at the very top is your annual statistics. How much have you been doing for the whole year? How many hours and how many days have you actually been writing? And what's your average word count for the year? And like I said, a lot of this information is still in the middle of being tweaked and updated, and this page still needs quite a bit of work, but it gives you an idea of how you're doing at least. And that's kind of the idea. The last part I want to show you is the profile page.
The profile page is where you change your personal information, and you can get to it from here. Click Edit Profile. And currently, there's not a whole lot you can change. You can change your profile image, like I mentioned. If you don't like my default owl, you can just click on it, upload your own image. You can also change your username. This does not, of course, change your email address or anything like that. It's just your username that's visible to the public and to yourself. The account information, this is where you can actually change your email should you need to, as well as the password. Other settings will contain in the future things like a way to download all your activities that you have recorded here, as well as other information. And that's currently not available, but that will be here, as well as other settings that might bear a limit, like what is your default activities. Editing, for example, that you want to see first when you go to the activity log, then you can set it that way. And that's something that's coming in the future. And that essentially, that is the profile page. And that is pretty much the online writing log. If you have questions about it, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, or just come on to the online writing log and check it out. There's a feedback form inside the online writing log itself. You can just click on and fill out information, bugs, and so on, and send them directly to me. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. So, onlinewritinglog.com. Come on over here, click join today. You can also go on down here and sign up for the newsletter. And hey, take a look and see what the concept of this looked like back in June. When I first started exploring how to do this, it's so vastly different from what it is now. Also, take a minute and go to my blog, talltechtales.com. There's a lot of other tutorials for writers on there. There's short fiction and much more. So check that out as well. And I hope to see you soon.